wanting to support these women's voices, but what they really need is to start speaking themselves. So I think the most important thing for women right now is to simply speak, and speak loud, and speak it out loud.
Can I be the revolutionary you need me to be? Could I be unhappy because I am not being whom I'm supposed to be? You see, every politician offers a solution momentarily. Yes, I am free. Free like birth certificates or contracts stating that you are government property. Yes, I am free. Free like every 2 weeks 30% is gone and I thought I made 1203. Yes, I am free. Free like the black seed aborted selfishly. Yes, I am free. Free like acrylic nails and European weaves. Yes, I am free. Free like graduating from the 12th grade and I don't know how to read. Yes, I am free. Free like a platinum CD that keeps my people asleep. Yes, I am free. Free like black women exploiting their sexuality for money. Yes, I am free. Free like comedic tombs stripped of its riches. Yes, I am free. Free like black women taking pride in being called bitches. Yes, I am free. Free like he loves me but I got 12 stitches. Yes, I am free. Free like newborns dumped in garbage cans and ditches. Yes, I am free. Free like a 12-year-old girl on pornographic pictures. Yes, I am free. Free like the fire from a revolution trying to be extinguished. Yes, I am free. 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 Yes, I am free.
The first question is, what does your work with violence against women entail?
I do a lot of divorce and custody cases, and so technically I'm helping women get PPOs and going into the court and getting custody and getting in contact with the battered women's shelter and finding housing and getting assistance if they need. But a great majority of it, I think, is just being there and answering their questions and giving them emotional support and a lot of hand-holding. Just a lot of backing them up and giving them emotional support and answering their questions. And you would not believe some of the questions that I get, because the batterers really tell them unbelievable stories that are just not true of what their rights are and what their legal rights are and what they can do and what's going to happen to them, and just threats that there's no way to describe. They're just so out there, but the victims really believe it because the batterer has just said this over and over and over again.
What kind of questions do you get?
Oh, can he take my children away? Is he going to leave the country with my children? Am I going to have to pay him alimony for the rest of my life? It's just, is he going to get everything and I have nothing? He says that everything is his, that I'm not going to be able to divorce him or get custody without him signing for the divorce or giving me permission to do so, that kind of question.
Now, Regina, what made you want to work with battered women?
I grew up in an abusive household myself and went through a lot of abuse and was in a battered women's shelter myself twice and was homeless. And one time I was in a battered women's shelter escaping from my parents' abuse. And the second time I was in a battered women's shelter, it was because I was escaping from an abusive husband. And so after graduating from undergrad, I knew I wanted to go to law school, and I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an attorney for battered women.
What was one of the most moving cases you've ever dealt with in terms of domestic violence?
Oh, there's a lot of them, but probably some of the worst ones are the ones that are the most moving. I had one that just went on for almost 2 years, and he was just an absolute sociopath. He had a very long criminal history. He threatened to kill not only her but several other people. Very scary guy. Was even stalking me at one point and trying to follow me home, and I was afraid of him. I was very careful when I was doing that case, and I still kind of watch out for that case and watch out to see where he's at and where she's at and what's going on. And recently learned he's back in prison, and so she gets 4 years of freedom because he's in prison. So 4 years of not having to have dogs and not having to watch out for him, at least.
What would you deem to be the most prevalent issues or issue facing women and girls today?
I see a lot of women and girls who don't feel like they have the freedom to just be themselves. They feel so constrained by society, by what their church expects of them, what their boyfriends, their husbands expect, their parents, just everyone. Even what culture expects of them, the portrayal on TV of what women are supposed to be like, and in music and everything. And I really feel that, it really takes away of a lot of the happiness of being able to live your life fully when you feel like you can't, because you have to live up to everybody else's idea of what your life should be like instead of what your own idea of what would make you happy and what your life should be like is. I think women need more freedom to be able to pursue their own dreams, and some of that is that you have to take that freedom yourself. You have to, just decide what you want to do and say, that's it, that's my life, and it's my choice, and I'm doing this.
I was still sucking my thumb the first time I sang We Shall Overcome. It was a numb December night. It was a small town fable, my first corporate villain, and my mother was the hero. And I was clutching the back of my mother's kneecap. I squinted up at her fist. I asked her, why are we so mad? She parked her head down in the freezing rain. She saw me so serious and small with my Big Mac truck union sign, so eager to mimic her symbol of angry. She smiled to herself, pondered the politics of fingers curl. This is solidarity, she whispered to her baby girl. And she smelled right then like the coal mines of the industrial age. She was perfumed in truth, and she reeked of risks taken. Because the time to strike is when the iron is hot, Martin said. All truth crushed to earth will rise again. Like the women before me, the women before me, the women before me, like June Jordan, Barbara Smith, like Sonia Sanchez, Adrienne Rich, like Flannery O'Connor, like Ruth Dallas, like Angela Davis and Mary Daly, Bell Hooks and Flo Kennedy, Gertrude Stein, Dorothy Ellis and my mother, and all the other women before me. They sniffed the boundaries carefully. It's no mistake they chose the fringes, and they rode the horses proudly, who careened off the edges of the carousel. Because our words are wild animals, sometimes just barely surviving in woods purchased by some industry. Hunters are frontline highways. We had roadkill, cancer in our warrior breasts, asbestos in our tampons. Still, the women before, the women before, the The women before think me through these dark clouds of injustice as I propel myself past all the clowns on TV. And there I find myself stratospherically frozen in between how things are and how they should be. And it's easy to freeze in these icy extremes, but the words of the women before shelter me like an igloo. Sometimes I shiver in their dimension, but at least I know from my history that their courage of chattering teeth demands attention. And sometimes I see my pleasing self, cheerfully flippant and full of quips, because the women before, they've passed me graceful rage. And I'm out to save the world, but I'm not scrambling to save face. I'm searching for an exit. I want to scream fire, everybody run, because we're packed too tight to this world full of trouble. The kid next to me is packing a gun. My mother raised me to tangle with the big boys, to pull out my thumb and make friends with my voice. That's my weapon of choice. Weapon of choice. So in this hallmark hub of a century, with its sugar cookie cutter white boy fame, you see, I will not be afraid of being called the same. I will not be afraid of being called the same. No, I will not be afraid of being called the same names as the women before me. Jane Jordan, Barbara Smith, Sonia Sanchez, Adrian Ridgely, Flannery O'Connor, Ruth Ellis, Angela Davis, and Mary Daly, Bell Hooks, and Philip Kennedy, Gertrude Stein, Dorothy Allison, my mother, and all the other women before me. 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 I take this legacy. I take this legacy. I'll take this legacy. I take this legacy. I take this legacy. Seriously.
Georgia.
Seriously.
Leslie Feinberg. Seriously. Harriet Tubman. Joan Nessel. Rosa Parks. Emma Goldman. Kay Gardner. Bonnie DeFranco. Joni Mitchell. Etta James. Billie Holiday.
Would you consider yourself a feminist?
That's a good question.
Probably not.
Yes. Yeah, I would.
Absolutely.
I don't know that it's relevant nowadays. We managed that back in the 70s.
I believe, but I'm not like gonna do like the whole like not shaving my legs or anything just because of that.
Consider myself just a woman.
I think feminists take it more seriously than I would.
No, but I'm definitely a free thinker.
Yes.
I consider myself an equalist.
I would like to say I have the feminist perspective if needed to be.
I think women have come a long way, and I'm definitely all for it.
I hesitate to use the word patriarchy because a lot of people are turned off at the word patriarchy, whereas some people can recognize that there are situations of domestic violence, but they don't necessarily agree with a feminist analysis or definition of patriarchy. But I really do think that's what it is, that it is male privilege and a feeling of entitlement that that it's okay to be women, and they get those messages from all kinds of different places, media and parents, etc. There's no way to type an abuser, like they didn't all come from abusive homes, and they're not all poor or stressed out. I mean, they're across all economic classes and religions and races and nationalities, so it's really more of a male privilege issue than any other kind of segment of culture.
Do you think that there's anything that can be done to stop it?
I hope so. I mean, I think that it's kind of, we get ourselves into kind of a hopeless situation if we feel like there isn't a way to stop it. I think that the biggest way to stop it is empowering women, because women so often feel like they can't leave, and that's what there's a lot of victim blaming that goes on in domestic violence. People say, well, why doesn't she just leave? And they don't understand how dangerous it is for her, and that most domestic violence cases that escalate into murder do so when the woman tries to leave or threatens to leave. So it's much more difficult than saying she'll just leave. But I think that resources are out there. Women's shelters and the National Domestic Violence Hotline is another good resource. One of the things that they do there is really try to help the women's safety plan. So go through. Sometimes it takes women's months, and like they have to plan for months and months before they're able to leave, as far as saving up money and when are they going to be able to get the kids in the car and go without the man being home, and just these kinds of things. So where are they going to stay? So all this kind of planning goes into leaving an abuser, and so the resources out there I think can be helpful. As far as the like change in the social mindset, I think that it's possible. I think that it's going to take a long time, but yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's through education and holding the state holding people responsible, and even in the last 15 years you can see how it's being taken more seriously. But at the same time, they're still, depending on which county police departments you look at, it's enforced differently. And so yeah, ultimately I think there's hope, but there's a long way to go.
Okay.
And it takes the efforts of the community and the police and lawmakers and clergy and everyone to do that.
How has your work with domestic violence affected your identity as a woman?
I don't know. I know that it has affected my identity as a feminist and a Christian, especially, because it just makes me more and more feminist, and as a Christian, more and more wanting to hold my Christian community accountable for the things that happen within it, including domestic violence. I don't know if it's affected my identity as a woman. It's affected me a little bit of my political views and my the choices that I personally make. So I don't know if identity and choices are the same thing. But as far as, not that I would have ever been with a man that hit me or anything like that, but it's just now there's so much more than that, and there's so much more abuse tactics than just hitting, like the threat. Like when you throw things, when someone gets really angry and throws things, that's kind of an abuse tactic, because they could just as easily throw it at you and all this stuff. So I guess it's taught me a lot about the kinds of things I want in a partner and the kinds of things that I would be settling for if I wasn't holding true to those things.
You mentioned yourself as a feminist.
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally define feminism?
Oh gosh. To me, I think that feminism is recognizing a social system in which men have privilege and recognizing that as wrong and unjust, and seeking equality and social justice, especially for women. Violence against women is a really big component for me. Violence against women, pornography, and prostitution are all very tangible manifestations in the world that illustrate patriarchy to me. That if there was equality, we wouldn't have those things. And so I think that feminists really have a strong sense and awareness of that, and as violence against women as against women, and not just violence, because it is a very certain type of violence. It's sexualized violence. It's not violence like you have between men in wars or fighting. So I think that feminists tend to have that kind of mindset.
Just one last question. What would you deem to be the most prevalent and crucial issues facing women and girls today?
I think that violence is one of them, but I think that sex is the biggest issue, is the way that we are taught to think about sex, and the things that we are taught to eroticize, and issues of how there's consensual sex, and at the other end there's rape, but there's all this kind of manipulation and coercion in between, and I think that isn't taught enough about that, or educated enough about, and about what women and girls feel responsible for, and what is truly they should be responsible for, versus kind of a guilt or manipulation thing. So yes, I think that sexuality and sexual expression and choices and lack of choices are big problems.
I'm Danielle Elizabeth Jane Badra. I have a hyphenated two-name middle name. I'm a senior at Kalamazoo College. I'm an English major, creative writing emphasis. I tried to be women's studies concentrator, didn't work out. It's okay, I still care. And so minor. My plans for the future are to move to Philadelphia and do something with my life. Hopefully publishing will occur soon in the future as well. I plan to keep writing and do an MFA program eventually. So we'll see. The first poem I'm going to read is entitled Lost Identity, and I wrote it 5 years ago for the first year of Heartbeat. And so here it is. Okay. Lost Identity. Where do I stand? What is my name? Somewhere between black and white, somewhere between Europe and Africa, somewhere between there and here. My fathers have hidden, have disguised, have forgotten who I am. Where do I stand? What is my name? The thin line is drawn and I stand. I walk it like a tightrope. Somewhere between two majorities, I have become a minority. A question mark covered by a majority mask so that I am treated like a queen rather than a camel jockey, a sand farmer, a terrorist from a war-torn land. This is what we are fed by the media. This is what I know. This is why I know nothing. Where do I stand? What is my name? So this is titled Each Toe Holds Helpless to the Ground, and it's from my SIP. All right, here we go. My first step meant freedom, even though I fell hard onto the rocks below. Even with no one watching me, I learned what feet were for. Each step falls, each step falls, each step falls firmly on my knees. On the fifth, I began to balance with my biggest toes like my thumbs helped to hold my mother's mammoth hand. Each toe holds, each toe holds, each toe holds helpless to the ground. With the ninth, I stood too heavily on a sharp metallic sheath, so I worked on wearing shoes. Each foot felt nothing, each foot felt nothing, each foot felt nothing significant. Step by step 15, I knew how to climb and sought to conquer the closest curling tree. No one watches, no one watches, no one watches while I try jumping and find I am too small to be so free.
Could you explain what Heartbeat is?
Heartbeat is a collaborative, service learning project with Kalamazoo College and Kalamazoo Central High School. And essentially it's an after-school program for high school students. Kalamazoo College students go there as either volunteers or the coordinators as well, of course. Go there to just help coordinate a creative expression workshop for students after school. And you never really know how many students are going to come or if they're going to come regularly. But we bring pizza, so usually people show up.
All right, and how did Heartbeat start?
It started 5 years ago as a senior individualized project done by Mario Anton, a senior at the time. And I'm not quite sure how he came up with the idea because I was really just a student in the program at the time when it first ran. But I do know that it was kind of just observing how students come to writing, perhaps, and come into their voice. And that's really what Heartbeat is about, is coming into that voice that is usually pretty suppressed throughout, especially the middle school and high school years, and it's something that, if not released, could even be really, hard for people to handle. So,
how did you find out about and start getting involved with Heartbeat?
Well, the woman who was the faculty member who worked with Mario my senior year in high school was the mother of a man who my sister was interested in. and she just came up to me one day in the halls, and she's like, "You're Rachel's little sister. I know her because I think she has a thing for my son." And I'm like, "Oh, hi. I don't know you." But I ended up becoming very good friends with her. She helped me out so much. She helps out all of the students at Kalamazoo Central High School. She's an amazing person. And she was, by the end of my senior year, I had become very good friends with her. And I, to some extent, I just wanted to spend more time with her before I graduated. And so this program really helped me do that, even though I was afraid to really join, because I was going to be coming to K, and I thought that I could end up ruining my reputation.
How did Heartbeat help you raise your voice as a writer?
Well, it really encouraged me to not be afraid to publicize my voice, at least. Because I was a senior, because I was going to be coming to K, I think I might have been like the only senior in the group that year. But they wanted me to start the performance, and they wanted me to like start the little group introduction at the beginning as well, and because I could kind of just take that role and go with it, even though I was really nervous to do that. I knew it was just kind of the right thing to do, and so I did it, and it actually felt really good, and I got a lot of really good feedback from it, and that was just really empowering. So.
And how does Heartbeat help other women in their development of their own voices?
Well, it helps them for a lot of reasons. One reason in particular is the fact that there are men involved in the group, and the way that they're able to be honest through their words about their experiences in front of the presence of men and receive valuable feedback from them as well towards the critique of their work, or towards, just sharing some sort of sympathy with their experience even. It's really important to have that voice around from the men, and it is there. That it is very empowering for the women, and I think that's one of the reasons why they keep feeling free to come back and do it again.